Okay, so today is Wednesday, the 21st of October 2020. This is Good Morning Africa show live on your number one station, Pan African Television. My name is Kwame Owusu. So super excited and sad to bring to you this today's morning show. I'm excited because I get to see you this morning. I'm excited because we get to spend quality time together. I'm excited because you get to share with me what your thoughts are. But I'm sad because of what is happening in Nigeria. And it is important that if you are a firm believer of the unification of Africa, this really should wake you up from your stupor to begin to think and act differently and to begin to, support the cause of the younger generation in Nigeria. The fight is for all of us to fight. People can be tamed, people can be prevented from getting what is rightfully theirs, but if the people are resolute and they stand firm and they are united in their thoughts and actions, victory will certainly be theirs. And I would like to quote this very succinct speech, or if you will, a statement by Sheikh Vera. It says, if you tremble with indignation at every injustice, then you're a comrade of mine. So all forms of injustice that is meted out to anybody, anywhere in this world should be your concern. Because you might think it's happening in Nigeria, but the ramifications may travel across the world and will not be able to contain it any further. And Martin Luther King also was as profound and as eloquent and as passionate when he made this statement that, injustice everywhere, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. And so, even if you cannot fly, you have to run. Even if you cannot run, you have to find a way of walking. If you cannot walk, you have to crawl. But by all means, you must keep moving. And I think that the Nigerian youth have demonstrated that it is possible to demand accountability from the people that we entrust our lives and our well-being to. It's very, very crucial. And they must know that the power of the people is bigger than the people who are in power. So we're going to be touching on this particular issue. I am very emotional about it because I have been reading, I've been following events that are happening in Nigeria. I'm not particularly excited about it because in this age and time, one would have thought that the best way of addressing some of these concerns is to dialogue. But you don't use the police and the military to try and intimidate peaceful protesters who are only agitating against the forces that militate against their well-being. That really must not find expression in our body politic in this, in this 21st century. Welcome aboard. The WhatsApp number is active, is 0260846539, and we are streaming live on our Facebook portal, which is panafricantelevision.com or facebook.com/panafricantv, and on YouTube as well. We are streaming on there. And so if my voice is a bit dull this morning, don't blame me so much because I'm not particularly in an exciting, or if you will, in an exhilarating mood. I'm not happy about what is currently going on in Nigeria. And if you are a well-wisher of Nigeria, if you are a well-wisher of Africa, you must be particularly concerned. Yesterday, when I posted this on Facebook, somebody reached out to me and said, what about what is happening in Ivory Coast? And I have condemned what is happening in Ivory Coast in no uncertain terms. Anybody who follows me would attest to the fact that I have condemned what is happening in Cameroon, what is happening in Ivory Coast, what is happening across the African continent. But the revolution has started. It only starts as a protest, but definitely the revolution across the African continent has started. And I think that once upon a time on this morning show, after I returned from Kenya, I shared with you my experience with a certain gentleman who was from South Africa. And he shared with me his thought that, listen, what is happening in South Africa will happen across the African continent because every day the people are becoming politically aware. The people have been, have now, if you will, been apprised with the things that they need to know, the things that originally they were not concerned about. Now they have become very, very aware of those things. And so they are demanding their fair share of what is rightfully theirs. And we must ensure that we put in proper measures that will allow for these people to live in their countries and feel comfortable. And I also want to find solace in the song that was sung by Stonebwoy. Says, where are we going to run go after making our motherland a better place to live? So we are going to be touching on that story. But before then, let me share with you the other topics. Mahama Pontus Akufo-Addo again demands his immediate resignation. Frema Buzia petitions President Akufo-Addo over wide-ranging corruption allegations. We won't conduct flawed elections, says EC. EC replies, doom mongers. The Ghanaian publisher reported this particular story. I'm excited to have in the studios with us our regular panelists, plus an old newbie, a prodigal son who is now returned back home, and we're excited to receive him with an open arm, or with open arms. And you know, if I say the people who are always here on Wednesday, I'm talking about Dr. Hassan Rashid Pelpo, who is the MP for Wa Central, and he's here seated. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Mujib Kele Esquire is also here. It's been a while, Mujib. Good morning to you. You're always smiling.
Good morning, Kwame. The secret is just that life goes on.
Life goes on, I like that. And of course, our very own governance and political expert, Dr. Abubakar Marzouk, or if you will, Alhaji Dr. Abubakar Marzouk is also here. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning,
Thank you very kindly for your time.
Welcome.
Right, so we're going to start the conversation, obviously, with what is happening in Nigeria, which has caught international eye and which has gained international condemnation. All of us must sing one song, all of us must have one voice, all of us must rally our minds and our events and our activities and everything that we can gather behind Nigeria at this trying moment. It's very crucial that we do so. But before I come to you, Dr. Marzouk, last week something happened on the morning show which I found very intriguing. I think that I was commending a certain gentleman who has been assiduously working in order to bring, or to, if you will, retain Dr. Rashid Pelpo in Wa Central. And, you know, Dr. Rashid Pelpo, in heaping praise on the gentleman, said, oh, you know, I'm training him, I'm grooming him, and he may be the one to take after, you know, after, yeah, I mean, the one I would hand over the baton to in an event that I decided not to go again. And there's been some unwarranted condemnations from people, and I don't understand why, because I thought it was rather on a lighter note. And I'm sure we even had that conversation before he said that, Dr. Marzouk. So I was surprised that people now would say that the man has his hair apparent, somebody who is ready to take over from him. I find it to be very bizarre, if I can say that. You know, so for those of you who, and it's not because Dr. Rashid Pelpo is here or because he's asked me to do this. It's because I find that in this politics, we always have to be guided by some of the things that we do and say. Particularly when you know that it has never been in his nature to want to bring somebody forward to come and contest, or he's never even done. He's a democratic person. I mean, somebody who has been minister and member of parliament for so many years. I don't think that it would have even served him any good or any better purpose if he did that. So for those of you who are wondering, it was just to appreciate, you know, that effort that a gentleman is putting into the work, you know, to ensure that he's retained. And even the gentleman himself is not somebody who is enthused about going to parliament. So please, for those of you who are peddling all those unwarranted falsehood, must really cease fire, to be honest. We don't need this at this material time. It doesn't help anybody. Thank you. All right, Dr. Marzouk. Yes, sir. How be? We did, but we know the.
Yeah, we did like we did.
Nigeria is.
Yes.
Oh, you okay? All right, sir. All right, sir. All right, sir.
Yeah. I think that you are right.
Yeah.
You know, it was just to compliment him and to extol him, his work and his commitment to working for the NDC and for the candidates. It wasn't to say that it will happen. And besides that, it is not the order of things that the MP would say that, oh, I'm going to hand over to this person.
Anybody can
There's a
MP,
process.
actually.
There's a process. And I want to tell my people, now, excuse me
Yes,
if I was
sir,
because Ayalanga, our iman did near Kanabechi, taking Kiyan Sumon, Komangana Bank, a tear hunno song, Ntia hunno song, Ayalabla, Abulua blood and la. So Neja and Tia Habla, Yatadeka, Ayala, Tena de, Kalio, Yellow Kara, can ihe near Koa Diama I, Kawaron water, I mean, when no win ihe, no one on board and a quarter contest, yeah, no win, a win. So the simple translation of it is that it's not something. It's democratic. Yeah. We are in a democratic process, and even when the time comes, the possibility is that I'm even go near there. The people who are going to contest will contest,
Who wins wins.
And what I just did was to extol the guy's image. I mean, to just pat him on the shoulder and say, you are doing well. So I raised him to that so that he can be working hard.
And do more.
Yeah, it's not
and
for
do
him.
more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not for nothing that we appreciate people. You know, it's not for nothing at all. I mean, and you see, the fact really is that anybody can become an MP. I mean, if in the future he decides to become an MP, who can stop him? Yeah, because he's paid his dues to the party and to the constituency. So, if anybody should be, you see, that's the problem I have. Even if you did that on purpose, why should that be a problem? Do you understand me?
Yeah,
why should that be a problem? Because anybody can become a member of parliament.
Yeah.
People who have not even, excuse my language, been to school have become members of parliament. It's just about representation. Can you properly articulate the concerns of the people? If the person is well placed to be able to do that, why should he be stopped on the basis of the fact that he was working for a former as in when you leave, member of parliament? It doesn't, you know. Anyway, please, let's hear from you.
Good morning to the cherished viewers of Voice. Thanks for the opportunity to be here. Special good morning to the people of Nantong. And if you permit me, I would like to say something little about what my elder brother, Dr. Rashid, has said. It's simple. I think people should understand one thing. Appreciation is a value in all civilized societies. And if you have reasons to appreciate the work of somebody, you should be at liberty to say it at any time. I think what he said was very simple. We were here, and I understood him to be showing a level of appreciation to that gentleman, so that other people who are politically active among the youth could emulate the conduct of the guy.
Absolutely.
One thing we should also understand is that my brother, Dr. Rashid Pelpo, is not at all an institution. He is an individual belonging to an institution, and the institution has rules and regulations in relation to the appointment or the choosing of a parliamentary candidate. I believe that even if he did so, whatever he said could not at all have any bearing in relation to the choosing of that candidate. At the end of the day, I believe that you have primaries, right? The guy will have to go for primaries. The guy will have to convince the people in the constituency. At the end of the day, it is the will of the people that will prevail. So, my brother, my sister, we are all one. Let us also understand that we have leaders. Is an elder brother of ours. When he makes a statement, let us understand it in a very positive manner, not to subject it to any partisan or political spinning. I believe that what he said was harmless, and the guy has every opportunity to stand, to compete with others. At the end of the day, it is Almighty Allah who will choose the representative. All right. Now we are coming to Africa. I can see that you are highly devastated.
No, but from last night I couldn't sleep actually.
Yes.
If I'm being completely honest.
And it's actually devastating.
Yeah.
Yes.
I couldn't sleep. I slept at 1 a.m. I woke up at 3. I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about what was going on in Nigeria. And I was following the live feed and the live updates from people on Instagram and on Facebook. And it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You know, it's
very sad. Very sad. It's one of the dark chapters. One of the dark chapters in the governance of Africa. And it exposes two main evils or weaknesses in our governance structure. One, we are dealing with the weaknesses of policing in Africa. Two, we are also dealing with excesses of protest in Africa. And I think it will be holistic if we are able to discuss the two evils in the governance of Africa. Clearly, the action of the police cannot be justified. Even in the animal kingdom, that cannot have any justification. Nigeria is not a banana republic. It is a secular federal republic ruled by laws, governed by a constitution. And the police should have its own powers within the Constitution. The police as an institution cannot at all conduct anything outside the powers given to them by the Constitution. Yes, the Constitution gives them the opportunity to protect lives and property, but that same Constitution prohibits them from destroying the same life and property. It is clear that the people have a legitimate concern and they are demonstrating for what they think is right for them and against what they think is bad for them. It is up to the Nigerian police to understand the democratic rights of the people and to understand the supremacy of the will of the people. The Nigerian police have every right to protect the state. But in the name of protecting the state, the police should not at all destroy any life. In whatever circumstance, the police should not destroy any life. Absolutely. What is happening is very serious. And what is happening in Nigeria should be a matter of concern to all of us, particularly those of us in Ghana. Ghana shares with Nigeria membership of various institutions, ECOWAS membership, Commonwealth membership, AU membership, African membership, and colonial heritage. Ghana is a neighbor to Nigeria. Nigeria is a it's a source of pride to all Africans. At least it's the largest economy in Africa, in West Africa, even not in Africa.
In Africa,
so we should all be proud of Nigeria, and we should all recognize Nigeria as the giant of African civilization. And therefore, what is happening there is unacceptable. If Nigeria is a source of our pride, then the barbarism should also be a source of our indignity. And that is why we have every reason to complain. The police must ensure that they move from regime policing to state policing. What is happening is simply a matter of giving the strength to regime policing. The police are doing that because they know the regime will give them every favor. Let them understand that they have been chosen by the regime, but their responsibility and duty are to the state. They have a responsibility to protect the state, not their paymasters.
Absolutely.
So Nigeria should understand the value of state policing over regime policing. And if they understand that way, then they will come to realize that the people have every right to demonstrate. And the demonstration is in the interest of the state. On an equal note, let us also condemn the excesses of the protesters. It is clear that just as we have badness in the police service, so they are in the civil society negative elements who will hijack peaceful protests to perpetuate their agenda, parochial agenda indeed. And it is true. I cannot understand how peaceful protest will lead to the destruction of state property, infrastructure. The protesters should also be able to demonstrate to the whole world that they are not protesting for their parochial interest, they are protesting for the interest of the state.
Absolutely. I think that has been clear from the outset.
Yes. And no, let me make a point.
Okay.
So it is the leaders of the protest to ensure that their legitimate act is not hijacked by bad elements who will uglify their good intention.
Very beautiful submission. However, there's one thing that I need to bring to your attention. Like I told you, I've been following, the events that are happening in Nigeria on tabloids, on other platforms, etc. And one of the videos that I saw was evident of the fact that even the thugs who infiltrated the peaceful protests were sponsored by the state, because in one of the videos, the thugs were causing mayhem, were picked up, not picked up necessarily, but like there was a V8 that came to park there and a police vehicle that came to park there and asked those guys to join them and move to another place. So it is a deliberate attempt to create the situation that the protesters are now acting in a way which is against the rules that govern such processes,
which will justify the brutality.
Absolutely,
yes.
So they need something to justify the brutality. Regardless, must people be shot at?
No, that's what I have already made a point.
Must people have you seen there's a gentleman who was shot and all his intestines are out?
That's why I've already made a point. The point is that in no circumstance should a life be lost. Just on the basis of protest. Right? But what I am saying is that, you see, what we should also understand here is that the police are professionals. They are technocrats. The state, yes, of course they are supposed to be.
Yeah.
So the state could be sponsoring thugs.
Yeah.
And this has been characteristic of African politics.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Vigilantism.
State, yes. Yeah. Vigilantism, state sponsorship of vigilantism, state sponsorship of thugs. State can ensure that thugs are in military uniform. Thugs is everywhere.
Yeah.
But the institution, as manned by professionals, should be able to resist that. I don't think the IGP, in his right thinking capacity, will allow such abnormality.
But it's going on.
But if it goes on, it is the IGP who should be held responsible.
It is going on.
You are a technocrat. Let the politicians misbehave. You are a technocrat. You are a professional. That's why you have been trained. You are a police because you have special training. So let your professionalism guide you. Ensure that thugs are not at all infiltrated into your camp. Ensure that even if they are infiltrated, you should be able to sieve facts from fiction. You should be able to sieve the thugs from peaceful professional police officers. So if they are able to do that, then definitely the whole world will salute the Nigerian police. But what I am saying is that as long as the protesters do not give us the clear picture to distinguish who is a genuine protester and who is an anarchist, either sponsored by the state or sponsored by his or her own interest, definitely we will have problems.
I think
because no right-thinking analyst will support any form of violence. And here,
absolutely.
And here, what we condemn is violence.
Absolutely.
And I'm referring to the quote by Martin Luther King. No, sorry, is it Martin Luther King? No, the justice anywhere.
Injustice,
yes, injustice anywhere. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. So violence by the police or brutality by the police amounts to injustice.
Absolutely.
Destruction of state property in the name of protest amounts to injustice. So we should be able to condemn both forms of violence.
I think in analyzing this matter, we must characterize and particularize events.
Exactly.
Because if you are characterizing the event, it will come to the fore that, the protest has been going on for like a week now.
Sure.
The thuggery and, the attack on state properties, etc., happened when? Like yesterday or 2 days ago.
Sure. So
if you are comparing the days that this protest has the number of days that they've gone on with the protest, it should give it a clearance of indications that the real intent of the people is not to create chaos. It is just to articulate and demonstrate that they are not happy about a certain system, which system ought to change.
That I have demonstrated.
They stated the reasons for which they embarked on that demonstration. End SARS. Then subsequent to that, they said, listen, end bad governance, end corruption, end all the things that have seen to the retrogression of Nigeria. So the youth are woke now and they are demanding for better things to be done in the interest of themselves and in the interest of the generation yet unborn. Now, obviously, every government will be unpopular by this singular act. And therefore, they would want to act in a way that will subjugate the people and will further, make the people, if you will, dormant in articulating and amplifying their concerns for the rest of the world. So clearly, there is some deliberate attempt to gag these people.
Exactly.
And the guerrilla tactics. Anybody can just apply any tactics in order to curb this.
So Kwame, that's what I am saying. If they are able to identify attempts by the state to amplify their good intention, they should also be proactive. The harm has already been done. It is clear everywhere, and it is a natural phenomenon that when the net of protest maximizes, the chances of excesses will also maximize. They started with NSAS. Now they are maximizing the net of the protest to cover corruption
and other related
evils of governance.
Of course.
Nigeria, definitely, even we will have individuals outside the state who will sponsor counter demonstration against corruption. Majority of the people are suffering because of the corruption. So when they now try as much as possible to maximize the net of the protest, they should also be mindful of the chances of either the state or certain individuals to counter their good intention. And that's exactly what I am saying. Because there's no way we can condemn the police brutality without condemning the destruction of the infrastructure. And if I am convinced that the state sponsors tax to infiltrate the camp of the protesters and to cause mayhem, then I will put the blame solely on the head of the IGP. Because the IGP is a professional. I think the Nigerian national security is made up of the intelligence and the security wing. So those people should be able to identify the tax, and if they are professionally trained, if they are technocrats, guided by professionalism and ethics, then they should be able to resist the state sponsorship of tax to justify the brutality. Thank you.
Well, let me come to you, Dr. Rashid Pelpo, please. Doc.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And it's as sad a day to you as it is a sad day for me to find brothers and sisters who came out to do a peaceful demonstration lose their life the way it happened in Nigeria on the streets of Lagos. And for those who are not aware of what is happening, these gentlemen and women have been fighting and demonstrating against police brutalities in Nigeria, especially in Lagos, where people can be stopped, killed, maimed, or their property seized, and things happening to them just because there are police people who the state has employed and paid by the people to guard them and to ensure that there is peace and security on the streets. The same people who are supposed to be enjoying the security provided by the police are the people who are shut down on a daily basis by the police. And so they demonstrate to make sure they secure their liberties, they secure their freedom, and they ensure that there is enough security on the streets. And it is their rights, as per the Constitution of Nigeria, as per the Charter of the United Nations, as per the Charter of ECOWAS, and as per the Charter of the AU, that democracy must prevail on our lands. And we all on ECOWAS appended our signature, and the ECOWAS Charter was promulgated in Nigeria, in Lagos, that we all agreed that we should have peace and security, we should have democracy on the soils of ECOWAS countries. And today, after 1 week of demonstration demanding something government does not want to grant, the response of government is to take hoodlums, thugs in police uniform to shoot at people and kill them. I'm very disappointed with the president because what has happened cannot be forgiven by anybody. that I send my children out to school, take care of them. They see something wrong with society, they join their colleagues to demonstrate, and the next moment they are dead because you have opened fire on them. I think that the ECOWAS chairman should make a statement right now. He should speak. He's the Ghanaian president. He's Ghana's president. He should speak. He should take the lead. He should demonstrate leadership right now in condemning what has happened and in calling President Buhari to order. Because these people who demonstrate have the right to do so. If they didn't have the right, they wouldn't do so. They have the right. In fact, the price of democracy is what we are paying every day. That you give liberty to people, freedom to people, guaranteed by the Constitution, to do what you don't like as a government, so that you listen to them. You can't have everybody playing the tune and dancing the tune of government. No, you can have several people saying no to you, and when they do so, you listen to them. So I think that it is a sad moment. It's a very gloomy day for Africa. It's a sad moment for Nigeria. This is the second time such massacres are occurring in the Biafran situation, even though they had cause to do so because there was resistance and resistance to secede and they didn't like it. But the subsequent massacre that took place, you know, and then you can remember the death of this writer, Ken Sarawiwa. Yeah. So if Nigeria consistently massacre its own people, destroy the lives of its own people, and then still goes free, it brings to question the kind of governance system they are operating. And you have the private security, the private people who also are in the bush and killing people. Nigeria deserves better than that. And we would say that we are brothers. And if Nigeria catches cold or sneezes, Ghana catches cold. And so it's important for us to be worried about what is happening. Where there's an explosion in Nigeria, the nearest place they run to is Ghana. And if they are coming, liberal as we are, we cannot say go back. We have always received the oppressed people, and it's part of our constitution. It's part of our national anthem that we abhor the repression, suppression of people. And if the lives of people are destroyed because of who they are, Ghana is always ready to receive them. And so if you receive people who are killed and maimed and destroyed in Nigeria and they are escaping for their lives, it's Ghana they will come. And Ghana cannot say go back.
Absolutely.
And so we are as concerned as the ordinary Nigerian on the street about what is happening in Nigeria. And so we all call on the president to investigate what is happening, and after investigation to go on to prosecute the people if he's not aware of them, and then make sure law and order is returned to the street of Lagos.
Thank you very much, Dr. Achikoto. Mujib Kele.
KOD, let me seize this opportunity to say a good morning to your cherished viewers. You introduced me as a prodigal panelist. You are well aware of the engagements that have had to take me off set. Thankfully, we have overcome, and then I'm happy to reconnect. Let me say a very good morning to the constituents in Dafiema Buse Isa, your beloved constituency, where I missed the opportunity to have bid to represent them in Parliament. And you gave the two doctors an opportunity to speak on the Wa Central issue, but you didn't give me the opportunity. I don't know if it's because I am a member of the NPP.
Oh, no. I mean, it's a social matter.
It's refreshing to state that I have my ordinary residence partly in Wa, have a house in Wa, and I stay in Wa, and things that happen in Wa invariably concern me. And so, like they both indicated, as to who would succeed the Honorable Rashid Pelpo as an MP is something that is not even within his control, because he is to go for the 7th December elections, and the people of Wa Central will elect who they want to represent them in Parliament. So he has a hurdle even to cross to begin with. And as to who represents their political party, they are laid down rules and regulations that govern these nomination processes. The young man, if I understand, is above 21 years. I mean, he's a graduate. He's now in the law faculty. He has a mental faculties that, if he so desires, can put himself up to represent the people of Wa Central. It doesn't lie in the Honorable Rashid Pelpo to solely appoint who will represent the New Patriotic, the NDC in
of course,
Wa Central. Even though, as for their tradition, you remember the Swedra Declaration. So I'm sure the young men are taking a cue from that. It didn't go well. Oh, but he could choose to also do it and things will go bad. That is just for the elected. But you see, if you've ever been bitten by a snake, when you see the broom, you will jump. So I'm sure they are just taking a cue from the Swedra Declaration, because this is a party that has its roots from military regime and whatever. So they can do some of these things, but they should leave my my elder, my uncle. I mean, yeah, he qualifies to be an uncle. I didn't meet him in Wa Secondary, where he was a senior prefect. He did so well in Wasek. I'm speaking for the Rashid Pelpo as the senior prefect of Wasek.
Not as the NDC man.
No. So he's a good candidate for heaven. That I can assure you, because he's a responsible man. And I'm sure the Bible and the Quran have assured heaven for responsible men. I can assure that he's a good candidate for heaven. But as to returning to Parliament in 2021, I doubt that. Anyway, so
let me, your party to win.
Of course. Let me come to the issue that has bedeviled Africa. Because, I mean, issues in Nigeria invariably are issues of Africa. Because if you take the population of Nigeria or the economy of Nigeria out of Africa, we just may be left with something small. We have all been discussing the effects of what is happening in African continent. Employable skill. People who do not have any skill to work on their own. And so they will resort to some of these things. I mean, so it is high time as a continent we began to look at the remote cause of some of these issues. We should be dealing with the issues of unemployment in the continent. We have vast arable lands in Africa, and quite regrettably, you sometimes will see that we import rice across the continent. We have vast arable land, that sugar. I mean, so these are the remote causes of some of these things, and we must begin to deal with these issues so that we don't even get to what we are discussing, which are just effects. But of course, if there's armed robbery, states have the responsibility to deal with the armed robbery. You understand? And state institutions would be employed to do this. You and I do not reside in Nigeria. These are things that would usually be reported. And so we would, on the face of it, deal with the reports that we get. States are enjoined to protect the citizenry. I'm not too sure that the protesters would even form a percentage of the population in Nigeria. I'm not too sure about that. State institutions, in so doing, that is, in performing their duties, need to know that they have those rights emanating from their laws. And in employing these laws, you must do so responsibly. But this issue, as we said, is the matter of chicken and then the egg. If there weren't protesters to begin with, I'm not too sure we would have these policemen brutalizing them. The Nigeria, mind you, they still have the police force. Yes. You know, they still have the colonial, what shall I call it? Colonial of policing. They still call it police force. And then it is high time we realized that security agencies are rendering services to the citizenry. You are not mandated to where it's not necessary, I mean, met out brutalities to persons that are protesting. I would leave that one day and then come to what the Honorable Dr. Rashid Pelpo talked about, that the ECOWAS chairperson should speak. He is an expert in international relations, and I'm sure he is well aware that matters of this nature have diplomatic connotations, and diplomatic relations can be so complex. We're in this country when the incidents occurred in Ivory Coast, where the former president, may his soul rest in peace, had to admonish that we should chop our house matter. It is because of the complexities surrounding diplomatic issues that you have states being reluctant in hastily condemning some of these acts, because there's a lot that is happening in there, and you must do some of these works behind the scenes. To say that the president, by reason of the fact that he is the ECOWAS chairman, should speak and he is disappointed in him, to begin with, is regrettable given his background, because the ECOWAS chairman does not act in isolation. He has other Mr. Presidents to work with, and whatever statement he may be issuing will be a representation of Mr. President of ECOWAS. You understand? So we must not lose sight of that fact. We must not lose sight of the fact that being an ECOWAS chairman is not a license for interference in state issues, in other states' issues. He has a sovereign state to govern. Nigeria is a sovereign state with its laws. And as a matter of fact, we must respect the municipal laws of Nigeria. So you cannot take it upon yourself that by reason of the fact that you are the ECOWAS chairman, you will hastily meddle or interfere in the affairs of Nigeria. I am very sure and confident that, of course, something would be happening behind the scenes that you and I may not be privy to. And you have had the opportunity of being a member of the ECOWAS Parliament. And I know that you, African Parliament, I know that you are aware that there's a lot that happens behind the scenes that we the citizens don't get to know. And so to hypocritically betray this knowledge that you have in these issues to score political point, I don't find that to be necessary this morning. And I think that you have not been charitable to the president, given the vast knowledge you have in this area. And I would want us to do our politics devoid of some of these mischief, because you are well aware that, of course, something should be happening behind the scenes by now. And you are a member of Parliament. I don't know if you are still a member of the African Parliament. And you, as a citizen, have condemned it. As a member of the Parliament, has condemned it. I don't want to believe that you would come and sit in the studios of Pan-African TV and just condemn it. I want to believe that you would, from here, do something that would be finding a sustainable solution to that issue that the devil says now. Because tweets, tweets, statements will not go to Nigeria to solve the issues. There are stakeholders, there are state institutions. The president of Nigeria is a member of the ECOWAS, is a member of AU, or Nigeria and is a member of ECOWAS and then a member of AU, and so Mr. President takes his seat there.
In diplomacy, particularly because of the kind of position the president has, you can issue a statement that will not be directly addressing the issue, but at least creating the impression that you are well aware of what is happening, and that, either the ECOWAS is meeting or the AU is meeting, and that very soon some solution will be brought to the people of Nigeria. You don't necessarily.
Kwame, I know.
Hold on.
Kwame,
hold on, because it will be humdrum to think that,
That's a big word. I don't understand. So
to
I don't understand your question.
To think that his silence also means that behind the curtain they are doing something about it.
Oh, you want to believe that?
So no, but because you are saying that the silence means perhaps that they are doing something about it. So we are not privy to that information. Hold on.
Okay.
We're not privy to that information. But I can also sit here and tell you that the silence is also loud enough to give me the impression that they are not doing anything about it.
Well, we can sit here to conjecture. At the end of the
Absolutely.
day, none of us on this panel will be able to make an emphatic statement that ECOWAS or AU is doing nothing about this incident.
Yes. And I'm
you understand?
That,
so to the extent that you want us to engage in this fruitless conjecture, I am all for you.
It's not fruitless.
I am here.
It's not fruitless. In allaying the fears of people, you can put out, there are two forms of statement. Now, you should know this. There are two forms of statement. One to create awareness and one to address an issue. So if something has come to your attention, in fact, you can even issue a statement as the president of Ghana and not as the chairman of ECOWAS. I am saying that beyond the fact that he's the president of ECOWAS, he also reserves that right and more to make a statement solidarizing with the people of Nigeria. How difficult is that?
Can I just say something?
Hold on, then you address me.
Because my nephew has said things that will require my intervention, because he referred to your being a member of parliament, being ECOWAS parliament, being international, that so you should know. And I just want to tell him I know, and that's why I made those statements. When Professor Mills said it was, he said it as president of Ghana. He did not say it as ECOWAS chairman. This is a sitting president who is ECOWAS chairman. And it has so much that when you say something that is so objective, you will see, MPP wearing the MPP cap will object to it without any basis at all. I haven't condemned the president. I insisted that being an ECOWAS chairman, he should make a statement. There's nothing wrong with that. If you say he should have known better, he should something may be happening. So what is the objective? What is the solution? And he said, three sentences will not solve the problem. That is why somebody has to make a statement.
Absolutely.
Look, let me tell you. When things started happening in Cote d'Ivoire, we were calling on ECOWAS to act. ECOWAS was not acting. We called on the AU to act. AU was a lame dog. Tomorrow souls, such as our president is behaving, didn't act. And so what happened? France had to come from France. French soldiers landed on the soils of West Africa in La Côte d'Ivoire and blew up the soldiers and seized power, arrested the man, and then look at the disgrace it brought to all of us. And I'm saying that when things like this begin to happen, in order to curb it from blossoming into something else we cannot control, please take action now. ECOWAS chairman, make a pronouncement. If you cannot make a pronouncement, let us understand why you are not making a pronouncement. Because at the last count, an eyewitness said he counted 20 dead.
Yeah.
An eyewitness said he counted 20 people shot dead, 50 people injured. But those were the people he saw at the scene. It could be more. So if you have
conscience at all, some level of
people, government, who you cannot bypass, everything stops at the back. The back stops at government. And then you order soldiers and shooting people this way. It must be a serious concern.
Yeah. So
on humanitarian grounds, and it is within international law for things to be considered within that sphere of humanitarian grounds. So I'm not saying anything extraordinary about the president demanding any extraordinary. I say he should stop being a tomorrow stool and act now, like a man with balls between his legs.
Okay. Yes.
This morning, I want to exercise some restraint. You know,
you have
to. Because
you are my
yeah, but those what is it? Venom would have been directed at you, but
who at me?
No,
okay, my honorable.
He says I'm his
nephew.
Okay.
Yes.
He says it.
You said it, uncle first.
So he can go some levels. He can do it to other people, not to me.
I can do it to you in as much as I am right, and I would objectively do it. That is how they have trained us. He knows that a typical Walla or Dagao boy, well trained, will tell you the truth, no matter who you are. He knows that. Yeah. So if he sits here and makes representations that are not reflective of the situation on the ground, it behoves me, by the training they gave us, to correct that. And that is exactly what I have done.
The correction
I
will
insist.
Be, your correction will be your own interpretation of the issues, right? But it's not a statement of fact.
I insist
so, yeah.
that he knows better, or he should know better, that matters of diplomacy are complex. And so it is not the hasty statements that will be issued that will solve the problem that we have. But we must do more behind the scenes engagements aimed at finding a lasting and sustainable solution to this problem that we have, and potential problems that may occur in Africa, in some parts of Africa or even the world. And so I am saying that being an ECOWAS chairman is not a license to interfere in other in the affairs of other states. You understand? And so Mr. President will speak as a chairman of ECOWAS when the need be. He will not be provoked by the needless comments, such as those that are describing him as a tomorrow soul. So to issue any statement that will amount to interference.
I'm sorry we are prolonging this conversation. I mean, I think we should.
Yeah, because if you listen to
but we see we should be fair in all our pronouncements, because in 2015, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe that whatever it is that was happening in South Africa was also a matter of sovereignty, right? The xenophobic attacks. But the president spoke to that issue. The president condemned it in no uncertain terms. That it was, and I think he said what? He said it is sickening what is happening in South Africa.
Do you know that?
It is sickening.
Do you know?
Is it not sickening what is happening in Nigeria?
You see, don't mix the issues.
Why am I not mixing?
We had South Africans rising against other citizens domiciled in South Africa.
Yes.
And we had Ghanaians there. We had Ivorians.
You don't have Ghanaians in Nigeria.
No. These are Nigerian protesters. There are two different
How do you know they are part of it?
These are Nigerian protesters.
How do you know they are not
talking about ending SARS, talking about ending corruption. These are citizens demanded their legitimate rights. The other one is the situation where South African citizens were attacking other citizens who were domiciled in South Africa, that they need not be in South Africa, that they need to go back to their respective countries. Meanwhile, you have South Africa dotted across Africa. And so to mix the two issues...
I'm not mixing the two issues.
No.
I'm stating the fact.
Take the case of George Floyd. When George Floyd was killed by a policeman, supported by the president, he supports him. The president held a vigil in Ghana.
Don't mix these issues. Don't mix these
to condemn
issues.
it.
Please don't mix these issues.
My issue.
This was another international.
We are mixing the issues.
We're not mixing the issues.
What he just said, you can't use this isolated incident.
So let's progress.
Let's put it in context.
By your time,
it's your duty to put us in context.
Of course.
So if one of us,
but I was only drawing attention to the pronouncement made by the president.
If any of us here, either deliberately or otherwise seeks to put a statement that is deviating from the subject we have at hand, it behoves you as the panelist to correct that person, or to bring that person to the path that we are, and then
I think that
deal with the issues contextually.
No,
but to be dealing,
his response has direct derivatives, because is emanating from the statement that you made relative to sovereignty.
Yes.
Of nations.
And you are like you will tell me, you know the law, or you and I are supposed to know the law, and you know that matters of sovereignty cannot just be swept under the carpet just because you are an ECOWAS chairman, you want to interfere. You see, there's a thin line between an intervention and an interference. And if we don't take care, we would end up interfering in other sovereign states' affairs when the need has not arisen. I am saying that what has happened in Nigeria is unfortunate. I am saying that it is high time as Africans we began to look for the remote causes of these incidents, deal with those issues. Otherwise, these things will keep recurring. We have had time to discuss Ivory Coast here. We have had time to discuss Congo here. We have had time to discuss Nigeria here. You understand? I am sure that some other persons,
all right. Thank you,
may be discussing these issues.
All right, thank you very much.
In some other countries within the...
We will disagree on this matter, I'm sure, forever. But
of course, to the extent that you know the law and I know the law, we will touch it differently.
Of course, of course.
So,
but let's you want to make a quick intervention and then I proceed.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, we are missing one point.
Yes.
The issue is not just a matter of diplomacy.
Yeah.
It is a matter of international relations and diplomacy. So on the basis of international relations, the president can make a simple statement of solidarity. As for diplomacy, because of its complexity, a lot of tools are being employed.
Absolutely.
Of course, some of these tools are employed in a covert manner, others are employed in an overt manner. So I think the two of them are saying two different things, but with a common ground. It is not at all wrong for the president to make a statement in condemnation or in solidarity with the good people of Nigeria. The president, on the basis of international relations, can also make a statement that advises his counterpart in Nigeria. The president, in the name of international relations, can also make a statement that can suggest a solution to the problem in Nigeria. When it comes to diplomacy, definitely as the ECOWAS chairman, he can't do it alone, just as we have rightly said. He had to consult other presidents, and that may take time. But as an immediate action, a statement could be issued. And that is exactly what I am saying.
Thank you very kindly. 0260846539 is the WhatsApp number. Kindly share with us what your thoughts are. I'll be more than willing to read them out to you. We are streaming live on Facebook. Kindly share the feed so others can get the opportunity to watch and contribute significantly to the show as well. We're coming back home to discuss other issues of relevance. And we are going to discuss the second issue now. Mahama punches Akufo-Addo again and is demanding his immediate resignation. Yesterday, I think I touched on this particular issue. It appears that the leader and flag bearer of the NDC isn't at all, happy with President Akufo-Addo and is asking for his immediate resignation. But Honorable, one would simply ask, can't the president wait, because it's just about 40-something days to the election, so that if it is the collective will of the people to get him out of power, that can be easily done? Why are you calling for his resignation at this material moment? I know that is on the basis of some statements that the president himself made relative to the fight against Galamsey and a few other things, that he was going to abdicate his stool in the event that he lost the battle against Galamsey. But regardless, must you still continue to make such statements when you know that we are just a few days away to the elections, or from the elections?
It's factual statements.
Yep.
The president is just reiterating what the former president is reiterating what the president imposed upon himself, and he's just simply reminding him. There are other reasons why you can have the president being called upon to resign, and several of them abound in the governance of this country since when he took over the reins of government. Very, very serious corruption allegations, very serious issues that came up and would have warranted anybody calling on him to resign, starting from when he plagiarized 3 presidents in his first address to the nation. I mean, starting from there, if you if you catalog them, but nobody called for his resignation, because we are in a democracy, and the people will have the opportunity to vote when the time comes. What we are asking for, what the president is asking for now, is for him to fulfill his own word. Because if you are campaigning and you are telling the people the social contract between you and I have been fulfilled, and you realize that one of them is a request you made yourself or an imposition you put on yourself, that if I fail to clamp down Galamsey and to restore order in the mining industry, I'm going to resign. And then you fail. The bulldozers that you seize from private illegal miners in the bush got lost.
The 500 excavators.
500 excavators and bulldozers, they got lost, vanished into thin air. Some of them reappear in the hands of friends who are very associated with the party, MPP. You have your own minister in conversation with another person talking about taking the lands and giving it back to MPP miners, illegal miners. Yeah, you have the rivers polluted in much more devastating manner as we saw them when it first triggered on the need for us to fight against it. And so, for every reasonable mind, we failed. I'm not going to say the president, we failed in his leadership to tackle Galamsey and to restore order to the mining industry and to clean our waters. We have even gone further to saying that we are licensing people who are closer to the president. And then the fight also was revealed. It was also revealed that right in the seat of government, people right in the seat of government were accomplices. And I mean, we saw it in the Arminyao Anasis case, his premier expose. So everything points to the fact that there is a failure. And if you have failed, logically, you should resign, because that's what you said you will do yourself. But I'm sure the president was just rhetorically referring to that, to tell Ghanaians that he failed in almost every sphere of his commitment to the nation. The many things he said he would do, he has failed to do them. Remember the warehouses for every district. Remember the military hospitals he says he will build. Remember the 350 secondary schools he says he will build. Remember the dams he said he would build in every village. He didn't qualify it. And what happened? Almost everything that's $1 million for each constituency, and I have never seen $1 million. They're now saying that, oh, we have done ABCD, it's part of the $1 million. But let us know. Nobody knows the calculations and all that. So if you fail in your social contract with the people, and in one of them you said, in this one, if I fail, I will resign. He's simply reminding him about that.
Okay.
So if you don't resign, what are you doing there? Because you failed. Unless you can tell us that you succeeded. Galamsey is still thriving like something. You know, one of his chairmen is a chief Galamsey operator, and they hail him for that, and etc., etc. So I don't know what the former president has done wrong. In fact, he has done well for reminding Ghanaians that, and reminding him.
All right.
He may not resign.
Okay.
He may not resign. I want to see him lose, because the people want him to lose, not to impose upon himself a resignation. He may not resign, but I'm sure the people will punish him for everything he has done wrong.
All right.
And I'm looking forward to it. In fact, I'm sure that I can work with my nephew. It doesn't matter whether he's in another party. He's such a person I can work with, and other people who are also willing to go the extra length in supporting this nation, in fighting for this nation, in being patriotic, in being committed. The nation first before our political parties.
Can I draw his attention that he's as usual courting another disaffection for himself?
No.
It's people who say that he said there are no competent people in his party to work with, so he's coming to take young men. Oh no, I'm just
nation building.
He's already.
I'm just telling. I'm just drawing his attention. No. Kwame, have you heard me? I said I'm just drawing his attention.
I know the message.
He may be courting another disaffection, because the British thing is still.
You and I know.
I'm saying that look, the man is already working. He's already working with an organization.
Absolutely.
We are not going to sack him.
You can't even sack me.
We can work with him. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
We can work with all of them to make sure that this nation is pushed forward.
Okay.
You know, but we don't want a situation where you have a president who has failed in every sphere of his presidency, has imposed upon himself the need for him to resign, and still failed to resign when he has obviously seen failures looking at him straight in the face and then telling him he failed.
Okay, thank you very much. We said,
yeah, I mean, I have to say,
no, I mean, not said, so
I join
you listen to him.
Yes.
Your mischief has been detected.
Anyway, the nurses, particularly the midwives in the Wa Municipal Hospital, say I should send their regards, that they are watching you live, and
I love them.
They are admiring you.
I love them all. So I'm coming for a health walk.
Not all, because
I love them all. Oh, wow, your eyes is part of this man. I don't know if it's you. So, I'm planning a health walk in Wa.
You can
before a peace walk actually in Wa before the election.
And so the two of them will come.
Yeah.
The nurses in the Wa Municipal Hospital are doing so well. So you can think around it and
you make Honorable Rashid people get another political.
Oh no, but the nurses,
so he facilitated the building of
the nurses are well remunerated under not the regional hospital. We have a municipal. The old regional hospital is now the municipal hospital.
I get it.
Yes. But what did he do there? That is for another day. When we meet in Wa, I will draw his attention to the inefficiencies. So, who is speaking? You say who?
Former President Mahama.
You know, the last time I referred to him as, I said I didn't know how to describe him, and my NDC friends didn't take it lightly.
But he's a former president.
No, sometimes I don't know. I don't know whether he. I want
the
candidate
leader,
to Mahama.
You can say the leader and flag bearer
Founder
of the NDC.
Okay.
It's fine.
He's not a founder.
Has he said he's a founder?
Okay, so former president who now wants to be president, Mahama punches Akufo-Addo. I think he is engaging in an unproductive enterprise, and he should relax, because there are just some few days to the elections, and the little integrity that he has must be guarded jealously, so that he can relax as a former president of the Republic of Ghana. So he should not be heard making some of these statements. It's unfortunate that it is Mahama who would be saying that a president should resign. Before I deal with the Mahama issue, I would want to challenge Dr. Rashid Pelpo. You know, I told you I would refer to him as doctor. It's not easy to be a doctor. So this honorable thing, he's a doctor. Anyway, he will soon leave the parliament. He said that persons closer to the government or to the president are now the ones in possession of the excavators. He is an honorable man. I would want to challenge him to mention the names of those persons, so that the president can deal with that matter, since he is aware. The president, you can't just throw anything around and say, we have gone away with so many things in the name of it in the public domain. He is a member of parliament, not for any constituency, Wa Central.
Are you denying that? Are you denying that?
I don't know that. He has said it as a matter of fact, and I want him.
Okay, if I don't find, if I can prove, tell me where they are. You are the people in charge.
No, that is not.
Because I have made my assertion. They are with you.
No, you said that they are.
They are not even.
Kwame, I expected you to have subjected him to strict proof when he did that. You didn't do that. That is a rhetorical question. Yeah, you believe in rhetorical questions. So let me proceed.
Let him proceed.
Let me proceed.
It's a rhetorical question.
Yes. Dr. Rashid Pelpo and my good self are from the Upper West region, and Doctor is
from the north.
Northern region or northeast? Northern region. Yes.
From
Nangtong. Yes. Where we come from, there's abject poverty there.
Sure.
And any of us here is an enviable character from the community you come from. We have many, many, many more of our ilk who did not get this rare privilege that we have had. Understand? Education is a right. Regrettably, it has become like a privilege. And to be here as a doctor, lawyer, doctor from the northern parts of the country is no small thing. But I want to remind them, and they are well aware that when they were in secondary school and junior secondary school, they have people who were equally intelligent just like them, but for financial reasons could not get the opportunity to be these enviable statesmen. And so, if a flag bearer promises you that if he gets the opportunity, he will implement a system where anybody with the potential, willing to be educated, will have that education no longer being a privilege, but a right. If you can't commend such a precedent, Mahama is the wrong person to condemn such a precedent. Unless you tell me that you don't know the essence of education. I have said it. Kwame, anybody who knows me from WASEC, I got distinction. But I couldn't go to school with my colleagues because I could not get school fees. And so I'm very passionate when it comes to the financial barrier that has over the years. Please. Oh, we are discussing Mahama punching hole at
no.
What is this thing about senior high? Please, you are a member of parliament, and I know that you are a gentleman. This is the headline. Mahama punches Akufo-Addo again, demands his immediate resignation. Where is the girl I'm saying?
Read the question. Okay. Read the story.
So this is what Pan-African TV gave me. When you were speaking, I had every glorious opportunity to have interjected.
Let me guide my brother.
No.
I think that even in my
let me make the point.
Even in my preamble,
let me make the point.
I made mention of.
I am saying that again.
But of course, he's at liberty.
You and I are from farming communities.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You and I are from farming communities. You understand? I have, after completing JSS, had to go into farming of groundnuts just so that I could raise money to go to the secondary school. You understand? If you have a president,
is it a bad thing?
If you have a, no, I'm making a point. If you have a president that has pledged that if he gets the opportunity, he is going to enhance productivity in the agriculture sector, and the president comes, he makes do with his word by implementing planting for food and agriculture,
jobs,
where you are going to get jobs, where we are going to have increased in yield. I mean, the Upper West region now prides itself with the hub for maize farming in Ghana, and it's largely as a result of the intervention of the planting for food and agriculture. And Mahama being somebody from that part of the country where arable lands were going waste because people did not have the opportunity to boost their productivity, they are now doing it. He is, again, the wrong person to demand the resignation of such a president. You understand? I am coming to your unsubstantiated allegations that you threw to the public.
Before that, I think.
Let me.
You should
are you now the? Are you now? No.
That's the point.
Because it's not on perspective. It's not about.
It's about the pronouncement that was made.
If I'm not able
by
to
him. Yeah, but I think that he wants to
read it.
He knows how
read
to,
it.
He is a doctor.
I'm sure
he is a doctor.
Yeah,
and he knows that when you are writing your thesis, there's literature review, there's results, analysis of results and conclusion.
Oh, no.
This must not elude him. I am building a point that, to begin with, the excellent works that His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo promised us, that gave the Ghanaians the opportunity to give him that confidence. He's delivering on his mandate. And to the extent that he is doing so enviably, to the admiration of most Ghanaians, I think that the former president is the wrong person to be calling for his resignation. He's talking about corruption, to be specific. That's what I'm saying. Galamsey, yes. Who said that?
Because now that's why I was quoted to have said.
Read that. This is
if he failed the fight against Galamsey, he was prepared to put his presidency on the line.
No, he said he would resign.
Yeah,
this is it.
No, but putting the presidency on the line.
Failed, so resign.
Yeah,
it's not about senior high.
This was.
No, it's about senior high.
This was in response.
Senior high.
With the greatest respect, you said this was in response to the statement that was made by the president of the land, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. So I can appreciate.
Would you let me just make a statement, I beg you. When Honorable Dr. Rashid also started, he mentioned
that's why I'm not giving him my ear yet. But I want us to,
you said that when I talked about the Galamsey.
Yeah.
You were asking a question. about whether it is because of he's resigning as a result. I said no. There are several other reasons he could have resigned, and I mentioned them.
Yeah.
But this one is on the galamsey thing that the president himself has imposed on himself.
On the basis of your own submission,
Yes.
on the basis of your own submission, he's also submitting to submit.
He said we should look at the topic, and the topic is say resign. I said no, it's not on the basis. It's not for nothing.
No, you raised.
It's because of something.
You raised concerns about his approach to responding to the question, and then he had to respond to it.
But the viewer is the one to mark the script. If he wants the viewer to say that,
let's proceed.
Even before the interview, you have the introduction.
Exactly.
Background to the study. Background to the study.
Exactly. Background to the study. So
let's have a very decent show, please. Proceed.
He is feeling the heat in his seat.
Oh no.
And he must be comfortable.
I want you to come back to the
Honorable.
point. Because every time you accuse an MPP of failure, they'll go and bring senior high.
No.
But it's not within their right to raise.
Every time they fail to do the senior high. What is senior
high? What is senior high?
Tackle the issue.
Oh, the MP for West Central saying that.
Don't say what is senior high? What is senior high in this matter? It is not there.
You see, when he was speaking, he made some statements.
I respect you a lot. So you go on and dress your body.
I'm not moved by some of these.
But you have also been employing those
flattery.
You say that we are from north, we are from here, we are from here.
With those remarks.
No, I am.
Every person
no.
is suffering.
Planting for food.
Everybody is suffering.
Free senior high. He, as the MP for West Central, he will tell you that calls for school fees have reduced. He will tell you that if he wants to be honest. He will tell you that persons who otherwise would not get the opportunity to be in school are now in school. And as a member of parliament who is supposed to have the welfare of his people at heart should be happy about this. And so such a president, even if your flag bearer says that he should resign, I expected that this morning you could give a counter statement saying that, hello, flag bearer Mahama, what the MPP flag bearer who doubles as the president of the Republic of Ghana is doing, I am unable to agree with you. He failed to seize that glorious opportunity.
But he also failed to say that president should resign because anyway.
Yes, corruption.
Yeah.
I'll come to these things must be dealt with holistically. This is a rare opportunity.
I'm giving you
background to the study.
Exactly. We are saying that the NDC has suddenly forgotten that some few years ago we had songs such as Woyomi Woyomi. They have forgotten about songs such as Sada. They have forgotten about songs such as Jida. They have forgotten about songs such as Isophoton. And they now want to play angel. They are the last persons when it comes to corruption.
Did you prosecute Have you prosecuted those matters? Ghanaians are well aware that the NPP government means well for Ghana. You understand? To pick isolated issues and want to let it be the general. If anybody will do that, I am not too sure that person is on this panel because I am privileged to be, sandwiched by doctors, and that title doctor, when you are given that title, you must live it. You understand? We are saying that the MPP government is delivering on its promises. But we are mindful of the fact, you and I are aware, that we have in every institution persons who may be deviants. It's a natural thing. Those persons are not coming from Jupiter or Mars. They are a creation of our society. You understand? The president will do his bit to continue to fight corruption. The president will do his bit to continue not just ending illegal mining, but regularizing activities of small-scale miners in this country. Okay.
The president has never made words on that.
So the bills of all of that,
the president, if you follow the issues very well, have had to, the environment minister have had to, in collaboration with the lands ministry, embark upon some reclamation of some of the lands that have been destroyed. With reclamation here, you are talking about adding life to the already destroyed lands.
Thank you very
just
much.
So that they can be arable again for our farmers to engage in farming.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I spent a lot of time with you, but I think it's when you needed to clarify these issues. Yeah. I mean, I wanted to ask you a few questions, but I'll come to Doc before, because you raised issues about corruption-related matters, and you cited a few examples.
I'm all for you.
You are in power. We've not seen you prosecute anybody with respect to all these matters. And yesterday on my morning show, I raised concerns about some of these things, that every time we trumpet some of these issues for political expediency, but when we get the opportunity, we don't address these matters. Then it begs the question as to whether or not those things really existed. Because if they did, and you had evidence, that which supports a fact, to prosecute this, and you are not able to do that, then what moral right do you have now to use them again for the purposes of gaining political points? So I will come to address that, because Wyoming is still working in the Freeman, isn't it? Yeah, it's around, you know. So I mean, we have to be measured when we're making some of these comments. But I'll come to respond to that.
If you follow Wyoming closely, you know that.
But you know I'm following Wyoming closely.
Then you shouldn't say that he's not a happy man. His properties have been encumbered, and they have had to be sold on auction. So what are you talking about? If you lose your house, would you say that?
My brother, we'll come to this issue, but let me hear from you, Doc.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity. The statement by the former president raises two issues from two perspectives. One, genuine patriotism. Two, partisan politics. In relation to genuine patriotism, he talks about the failure of government to address Galamsey. I am with him. I agree with him that the government has disastrously failed to address the Galamsey issues. And that is unfortunate. It doesn't affect any person, it affects the whole country. It leads to environmental degradation. And remember, the world is struggling with climate change. And it should be the concern of every Ghanaian, irrespective of political affiliations, to rise against any act that leads to environmental degradation. So if the former president complains about the failure of government to address the Galamsey, he is right. We must all support that. And I think there is nothing wrong with that. It is patriotic, it is nationalistic, it is realistic. I believe that it is in the interest of the state. So he is right, and we should all call for that. However, if he is calling for the resignation of the president based on that, I'm not with him. I think that is mere partisanship. That is political, because the failure of government to address Galamsey is not sufficient enough to warrant the resignation of the president.
Okay.
I know that your follow-up question could be, but it was the president himself who made such a statement. Yes, my answer is that that statement itself was politically unnecessary. In fact, that statement was part of the negative politicization of national issues. So over there, I am not in support of any of them, because it is just a matter of political banter. For the president to claim that if he doesn't address the Galamsey, he would resign. And you and I know that will the president resign in the face of all presidential privileges just because he has failed to address Galamsey? That's merely political.
But that's very dishonest then.
Well, you can label it the way you want to label it, but large section of our politics is dishonest. In fact, large section, our politics is largely. So if you call it that way, fine. But I'm saying that the president's promise itself was political. the call for his resignation just because of that is also political. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in the patriotic aspect. But let's take this opportunity to refine democratic politics. Let us also understand, especially the politicians, that as an institution, we have our weaknesses and strengths. When I say as an institution, I'm referring to government, because you and I are part of the government. So as an institution, we have our weaknesses and strengths. So any party that is campaigning for political power should be able to understand the weaknesses and strengths, and should be fair and honest, as you have rightly said, to Ghanaians. That party should be able to tell us what it can do within the 4-year mandate and what it cannot do within the 4-year mandate. If the party has an intention to do a 10-year project, the party should honestly tell us that in the first phase of my 4-year of my government, this is what I can do. In the next phase, this is what I can do. If campaigning can be conducted in a state of honesty and objectivity, we will not have these problems. But I think this is merely a matter of partisanship and patriotism. In the context of patriotism, I am firmly with the former president. In the context of partisanship, I am neither with the president nor with the former president. Thank you.
Thank you very kindly, Dr. Maros. I've seen that your messages are pouring in fast. Let me try to see if I can read a few of them, and then we will discuss the third issue. From our Buzia petitions President Kufuor over wide-ranging corruption allegations. And yeah, we'll touch on that particular issue. Well, we won't conduct flawed elections by the EC. We will talk about. We will talk about. No, it's not about. Well, with the greatest respect to you, senior, but
okay,
yes, let me. Good morning, Kwame and your panel, especially Honorable Rashid Pelpo. If Nanado can lie to us about his resignation in line with the fight against Galamsey, we will punish him by voting him out and bring in the truthful incoming President John Dramani Mahama from Peter Pom, Prisia Honi Valley District, Western Region. Good morning to you, KOD, and your lovely panel, especially Dr. Rashid Hassan Pelpo, the Messiah of Wa Central constituency. That Wala people are hearing him this morning and are proud of having you as a son and a representative in the law-making house of Ghana. That we will continue voting for you, sir, till you get tired. This one is from Upper West Samijenfi. Hey, Charlie. I am getting some very important. Mr. Man, I think you don't know what to say. Mr. President, please, do you remember promising Ghanaians you are going to revive our failing economy by giving every citizen loans? Where is the loan? Mr. President, some of us are smarter than you are, okay? I am Dela. Thank you very much. I'm getting messages from Nigeria. I think I need to also respond to, read a few of them out. Oh, where are the messages? Okay. This one says, good morning, everyone in the studio. I don't know you guys by names. I'm following your show live from Nigeria. And I'm also a Nigerian. What's happening in Nigeria needs international intervention and awareness. Nigeria is being governed by bad leaders. And as we all know, that leadership is the determining factor. By the way, success and failure of every society, none of the sector of the economy in the country is working under this administration. Things have gone from bad to worse. I've been in school since 2015 studying a course with duration of, okay, he didn't add the years, but he said with a duration of years and still not graduated. And after graduation, no job. Pensioners are not being paid. People are dying out of poverty. No electricity. Healthcare is bad. No good road. Everything in Nigeria is simply wrong. Then he says that, he says that concerning the End SARS protest, the youth have become aware of the evils and plans of the evil men in power who are destroying the state. The properties and breaking of prison for inmates was masterminded by the government in order to tag protesters as violent. Since the protest started, the government hasn't addressed its people. Look at the protest. You don't need anyone to tell you that the people are tired of bad leadership, police brutality, bad governance. Nigeria need to be restructured and reformed. And this is what was sent to us from Nigeria. Let me see if I can get a few more Nigerian messages this morning. Otherwise, we will just read. Okay, right. Let me just read the other issues. Good morning to you, Kwame. This is how it starts. Just like the recent happening in Ghana, the insecurity, silence, and the greed, selfishness on the part of the government of Nana Akufo-Addo. Vote JM for peace and better development. Greetings to the incoming MP for Ayawaso Central constituency, Raouf Roxon. Roxon from Pig Farm sent in this one. Now, this one also says, Honorable Rashid Pelpo all the way from Nabie in Upper West Region. Honorable Rashid Pelpo is up to task, and I stand for Rashid Pelpo, Wa Central 2020 from Officer Lonat in Wa. This one says, hello, Shay, good morning to you and your panelists. Please tell the MPP rep that in as much as the Gabas and Wallace train their children to be truthful and assertive, they are also trained to be respectful. How can you say Honorable Rashid Pelpo asking President Akufo-Addo to make a statement on the happenings in Nigeria is hypocritical? This is not part of the northern training. This is MPP's typical disrespectful style of communication. God bless our homeland Ghana and make it great and strong. Sebastian Achana from Navrongo sent in this one. You are entitled to yours, he's entitled to his. Don't debate him on this matter. Because I suspect you are about to debate.
No, he's my playmate. He said it on the lighter. You
okay.
Understand.
Okay. Good morning to you, KOD. Have you seen how MPP communicators keep defending the indefensible? 2020, we will show them. Muta from Nima sent in this one. Good morning, FOKOD and all Pan-African crew. JM second coming in round 2 for JM. Now MPP members are now confused and struggling to come out with their slogan. Now, if they mention round 2, they are campaigning for NDC. And if they mention 4 more, they are campaigning for CPP. This is hilarious.
What's the source of
courage in Alagado? The way he said it's funny because you guys have 4 more, right? 4 more for that. And then you have round 2 more. You have round 2. So it says if you mention round 2, you are campaigning for Mahama because Mahama is number 2 on the ballot paper.
Oh, okay.
And if you say 4 more, you are doing the 4th sign. You are campaigning for CPP. Then they should do 1 more term for Nana. Yeah, I'm giving you guys a slogan. 1 more term for Nana. Please, good morning to you, Mr. Host. In fact, the fight against Galamsey has been a total failure. When it comes to that, I want you to come and see with your own Korokoro eyes what is happening in my municipal Bibiani and Riaso Bekwai. From Bibiani to Bekwai, a town called Asawinso, River and Cobra. Come and see what MPP gurus are doing there. You will cry. Oh, Kwame, good morning to you. Please advise the MPP guy to learn how to talk. He's being so rude. Hey, Fred from Kaswada, you don't know this man, no? Good morning to you, Kwame. EC has done their balloting and NDC came second on the ballot. I think EC and the MPP have realized God speaking to them about the coming back of John Dramani Mahama and the NDC. My regards to Honorable Alasan Suyin Ibrahim from Tamale Nasara Democrats, Deputy PRO. Mahama is beating by 1 on the ballot sheet, indicates that Nanado is the winner. 4 more for Nana to do more. Kofi Lat from Volta Region. This one also says, good morning to you. So Akufo-Addo's communicator can't make their submission on national issues without mentioning the politically motivated free SHS. But Ghanaians are more discerning than the MPP thinks. Omari from Agape sent in this one. I am not a numerologist and don't know how the positions on the ballot paper can influence elections. Though, I think the year 2000, Asiaho's slogan added a bite to President Kufuor's victory. Nonetheless, the good works of a party ultimately translate into an electoral victory, and that is why I feel overly confident that President Akufo-Addo will triumph in the December polls. The 4 more for Nana agenda is on course, and Ghanaians have bought into it. Kwesi Reynolds from Agona Odobing. This one also says, Muji, people are attacking you, pal.
Oh. No, you are attacking me. You know defamation very well, so be mindful of that.
Your standard has not been lowered. I am from Nigeria, and I want you to read my message. Good morning to you. Please read my message. Which message have you sent? I've not seen your message, sir. Okay, I've seen the videos. All of these videos, I've seen them. I've seen the videos. This video is to show that the government of Nigeria is for this is what I was talking about, that they are sponsoring the tax. Because if you watch this video, you see the tax entering this particular V8. Yeah, they opened it for them to enter. So that's the video I was telling you
And
about.
they ran away.
Oh yeah, they ran away with the security agencies. You know. Good morning, Pan-African TV. It is obvious that the MPP communicator doesn't even understand the headlines. Nanado made a statement that when he fails in Galamsey fight, he will resign, and he failed. And you are talking about different things from action in Kwame Danso. Action. Good morning to you. If I were Bossman's brother, I would have advised him to resign and go back to my mother's work. God has exposed Bossman again on his plan to choose number 4 for MPP. You can see how MPP representatives struggle to pick up the paper from James K. Saba. Hey, Ghana 4. This one is from Nigeria. It says, good morning to you. Please pray for Nigeria. Adams from Nigeria says, Nigerians have been silent for a long time with the massive natural resources, and yet poverty is the highest order. It's in the highest order. Our leaders are the problem of the country. Hashtag pray for Nigeria. Adams from Nigeria sent in this one. Adams, we are with you every step of the way. Please, I want to ask the MPP man, who sees the excavators? Is it not the president and his head officers? So we expect Anado's government to find the excavators by Abudu Nibaradun.
Honorable knows where they are.
Interesting. Champion Kennedy, please give the MPP man an honorable purple about the state of Tampiani in Wa Central. What is that?
Tampiane is a community.
Tampiane. I love the name. Tampiane. In fact, the Akufo-Addo
White Hills.
nice. Akufo-Addo government is incompetent. Let's vote him out. Orlando Joseph inside Ashanti region. KOD, good morning to you. The president is putting his presidency on the line. If he fails to fight Galamsey, does not necessarily mean he should resign as former President Mahama is calling for. But what he means or meant is that if it will cost him to lose the second term as president for fighting the Galamsey, he will do that for the betterment of the country. Kipo Ansuma from Sola in Savannah region. Good morning, Chapikodi. The pace at which Ghana is retrogressing is so worrying, with so many lies and deceit. Nana must go. My regards to Honorable Purple. I am Gayas from Wa. Hello, Pan-African TV. Number 2 is the second coming of Jesus Christ. Johnny from Tamale. You people, be careful.
John is now.
KOD, in 2015, when Minister of Energy gave himself a timeline to fix Dumso, he resigned on his promise. So what is the MPP man saying? He should tell President Akufo-Addo to do the needful. Muta from Freetown, Nima. Today, my Nima crew are watching me, but I'm happy. In fact, nobody, and I say nobody, can challenge God. Boss, when I started tried his best to choose number 4, where are people getting this from? James K. Sarba sent in this one. Okay, right. The messages are pouring a lot. I have over 342 unread messages. Yeah. This one is 42 unread messages. But let's discuss this very important issue. Okay. On the basis of the fact that elections are just far in sight, I think we should touch on that and discuss corruption later, because everybody knows issues related to corruption. But we won't conduct flawed election, says EC. Let me start with you, Mujib Kale.
I got the feedback from your viewers, and some got it wrong. I don't want to blame them anyway. That I was being rude to the Honorable Dr. Pelpo. That is not the case. Doctor knows that I am a very respectful young man. In fact, I respect him so much. He's a very experienced member of parliament that we are not in the same political party. But I think that having been around for the past 16 years, he has contributed his middles wide towards the development of Ghana. As I indicated, he was a member of the AU Parliament, ECOWAS Parliament, even a deputy majority leader. I have even attempted to
go for one
and have not gotten it. I'm not too sure.
Let me read this message. It's coming. The message is coming for you. Hi, good morning, Kwame. 4 more for Nana to do more for Wa Central and more for the incoming MP Haji Awumu. So the person said I should read it to you.
Yes. Oh,
so I've read it.
So I mean, he is somebody I revere. I mean, if for nothing at all, but for these achievements that I have not attained yet, I should give him some reverence. But when we meet in the TEF, in why you know I'm a member of the regional campaign team of the Upper West, I'm going to give him a a hell, and he risked not returning to the August House in January 2021. Having said that, we are talking about the Electoral Commission assuring Ghanaians that they are not going to conduct a flawed elections. Of course, they cannot conduct flawed elections. This is an independent body that derives its powers from the sovereign law, the Constitution of Ghana. And if they will religiously abide by the Constitution, the dictates of the Constitution, and as well as the constitutional instruments that the law enjoins them to pass, as CI 91 and what have you, I'm not too sure that if they religiously abide by the dictates of these laws, we can come out a wounded country. I mean, we are here speaking because we are a peaceful country. I mean, in some jurisdictions, they have come out of elections, and if you win, it means nothing, and if you lose, it means nothing. I think that we would want to go into the elections playing to the dictates of the rules. As for the EC, that is a referee, it behoves us as the spectators as well to be measured in our comments and even how we raise our concerns. It is important that political parties, if they have concerns, they must raise these concerns. We have the IPAC, a very fine avenue for them to raise some of these issues. Political actors should not take it upon themselves to recklessly make statements that will undermine the neutrality or the hard work that the EC is seen to be doing. A lot of times as political actors, we are quick, depending on where we sit, to condemn. But we should not lose sight of the fact that we have fine gentlemen and ladies in these electoral institutions that are contributing so well to the development of this country. And I'm not too sure that it is in the interest of any of them to want to chart a path that would lead us into any electoral dispute. Having said that, I would want to use this opportunity to admonish my brothers in DC. No, if you follow their comments after the appointment of the commissioners, particularly the chair of the commission, I mean, some comments were made which are needless. Even yesterday when they were in the room to still ballot, I mean, they still were seen making comments that could undermine or injure the sanctity of the electoral process. And as political actors, we should always be measured in our language. After all those statements, when they went and picked number 2, you saw how my brother Otokono was so elated, telling the whole world how they had prepared for number 2, how they had rehearsed for number 2, and they picked number 2.
All right.
So it tells you that as a political actor,
all right,
if you make promises that are so appealing, if you are somebody that the people can repose their confidence in, they would vote for you. It is not the threats that you will be issuing to the electoral body that will give you electoral fortune, any electoral fortune.
Fantastic.
I am saying that we have a country to govern, and the election is a process. It starts from getting your name onto the register, even political parties registering and nominating their candidates and what have you.
Right.
If we finish doing all these things, we are to go into an elections. It doesn't end with just getting a leader. We need a leader that together as a country we can be proud of. This morning I'm preaching, and you are shocked that I'm not doing politics, but I'm preaching. That is the way to go, and that is why I am calling on the NDC to stop sorry to say, the needless comments that sometimes they invite onto the public space. We have younger ones who are learning. And so if you have a general secretary of a political party condemning the EC officials, what you are invariably telling your followers is that, I mean, the EC is a substrate that you can feed on any time.
Thank you very kindly.
That will not be very helpful to our democracy. Mind you, we have always prided ourselves as a beacon of democracy in Africa. And how we conduct ourselves prior, during, and after these elections will continue to let the world see us as such. And I'm very confident that my flag bearer, the President of the Republic of Ghana, as he has indicated, would not want to win an election that is disputed. He will win based upon his track records. And I'm very convinced that so far, given the promises that he made to the Ghanaian people, he has duly fulfilled a good number of them. That will require that they would give him a chance to govern this country for another term. Of course, Nana Addo will win not on the position he finds himself on the ballot paper, but on the basis of his track record.
Thank you very, very much, Mujib Kele. Let me say a special good morning going out to you, the former chairperson of the Convention People's Party, Madam Hadia Hamdatu Ibrahim. You are watching us this morning. A special felicitation going out to you. I trust that you are doing very, very well and you are healthy as well. And let me also say a happy belated birthday to my brother Kuri, who is inside Tumu this morning. Kuri, inside Tumu. Yesterday was your birthday. A happy belated happy birthday to you as well. Good morning, Kwame. This is how it starts. Just like the recent happening in Ghana, the insecurity silence. I think I've read this one, Roxanne, from Pig Farm. And Musa Abatu and Kumasi says, the battle, where is it? The battle line has been drawn. In 2008, Kufuor, the then incumbent political party, picked number 1 and lost. I have the strongest sense of conviction that history is going to repeat itself. Number 2 on the ballot signifies the second coming of JM, because voting for JM is a civic responsibility to be unit committee members even. Dr. Rash Pelpo is a very good material. He has done a lot for the West Central constituency and beyond. And I hope he will be rewarded again to continue his good works. I salute Bunas, NDC regional chairperson of Upper West Region. Hadi in Pig Farm says, a child that is bound to die cannot survive even when it is hidden in the pocket of a poop. The MPP tried to engineer some numbers for their survival since their message were not sinking. They started with the figure 4, midway the figure 2, representing a second term, also appeared. Allah really rules in the affairs of men. He will make your enemies market your products for you when the time is ripe. Inshallah, the second coming of His Excellency JDM has been confirmed. A victory sign is given, and it add no sorry to it. Let us all believe in the great NDC. Get down to work. Let a sign be shown out there. The whole world should know that JM is coming back. JM is coming back with the victory sign number 2. Dr. Rash.
Well, thank you so much. I think that let's be fair to Fremabuzia. Once she is a known MPP person, has a father who was prime minister before under the tradition, if she is coming out to say something, I would just say that she has done well. And we want to see people do that. For example, if NDC comes into power and there is something going on, we can have an NDC person coming to say, look, this is going wrong. So the fact that Fremabuzia has come out to petition the president and say there's too much corruption in your government, I think that she should be commended. I just want to say that before I go on to tackle this issue. So congratulations to her.
Introduction.
Now, the issue is on we won't conduct flawed elections. and that's EC replies, look at what the doomsmongers. Earlier on, they had called people who show concern as naysayers. Now they are saying doomsmongers. I mean, I think that they are not politicians. They should realize that they are not politicians. They should speak the language of technocrats. They should say, you know, people who are showing concern about what is happening. Because there's genuine reason for people to be showing concern. In one polling station during the voter registration exercise in my constituency, out of 700 people who registered, there were only 200 exhibited. Only 200 of them were exhibited. So, couldn't we show concern? Shouldn't we show concern? That was serious. And again, we were told that there would be facial recognition equipment.
Yeah, I didn't see that thing.
Were they shown?
No.
We didn't see them. So, what is it that we should be talking about? If all these things are playing out, we also saw on social media people who are printing cards for others in a certain room, which was not in public. Can't we show concern? So many things happen for Ghanaians to be apprehensive about what is happening. So if they want to tell Ghanaians they would not conduct flawed elections, it must be by their deeds, but not by their words. They must convince Ghanaians comprehensively that this thing they are doing will not create problems for anybody, that they will be transparent, and then they will allow for free choice. We want to see an EC that is committed to taking us to the level of democracy which is beyond where we are now. Because in every sphere of our operations as a country, in the light of our democratic dispensation, we want to see improvement in a better direction. So I think that the EC must do more, much more than they are doing. They must consult more. You see, constitutionally, they have the independence, they have the mandate to run elections, their mandate to compile register, but the constitution or the law is as good as the process or the procedure or even precedent. Because if there is precedent in law, you cite it. It's very important. If there's a precedent in EC consulting IPAC members and coming out to the public to make pronouncement, follow it. If there's a practice that you do ABCD before coming out to a certain conclusion, do the ABCD. Don't just take the spirit of the law and say, oh, the content of the law, and say because the law has said we are independent, we can do anything. And then you do the things, you know, without due consultations. I think that the EC will do as good if they are able to convince Ghanaians that they are hiding nothing under the carpet and that they will do as much as is expected of them by the Constitution and by the popular will of the people of Ghana. That has put them where they are. So I think the statement after everything is positive. Positive because we want to see an election that is devoid of any irregularities. We want to see an election that is conducted by the EC without an underhand dealing or influence that would have diverted their transparency to another level of conduct. So we want to hold them to their responsibility. We want to hold them to this promise that people who are showing concern must not show concern because they will do well. You know, okay. And Bossman, who's a friend of mine, in fact, when I was the University of Cape Town was going to examine the elections in Ghana as a case study for Africa. Two people were invited from Ghana to make to present papers. I was invited to present a paper as a politician. Bossman was invited as an intellectual to present a paper. The two of us traveled to South Africa and presented a paper. And I like his intellectual output, just like he said he admired mine when I presented the paper. I think that he should be objective. That objectivity that cut him out for the University of Cape Town to see everybody in Legon and elect him to do so, he should carry that into the EC and not give people the impression that he's partisan.
All right. Thank you very much. No, take us home.
The sanctity of electoral results is critical to the survival of democratic governance. More critical is the integrity of the electoral managers themselves. And for them, in the case of EC, to declare that they would not conduct flawed elections is reassuring. I'm very happy to hear that. And I think all Ghanaians must support them to ensure that the elections are peaceful, credible, and transparent. However, their declaration is one thing, and what they can do is another. Two things are at play. We need to understand that the elections cannot be free, cannot be credible if we are not able to observe two democratic norms. One, participation. Two, inclusion. When it comes to participation, it is individualistic, it is internal. But when it comes to inclusion, it is institutionalized, it is external. The EC has to ensure that your name is found in the register before you activate your power of participation. So the inclusion is the sole responsibility of the EC. And I think the EC should do everything possible to ensure that legitimate voters are included in the register. If the EC wants to conduct an election or elections, presidential and legislative, that are not flawed, then the EC must ensure that the flaws already associated with the register are corrected.
Thank you very kindly. Thank you. Let me read a few messages and then we wrap up on the show. I salute Honorable Rashid Pepo with such a mashoma. I love the comments made by Dr. Marzuk. Victus Larry Fomechi from Tema Newtown here in Accra. Good morning, KOD. I'm sick and tired of the MPP. Okay, that's all you sent. You said, well, good morning to you and your lovely panelists, especially, okay, I've read this one already on WhatsApp. President Nana is a big fish caught by a bedded hook like Bahama. Stop brutalizing him. The economy was weak before he took over. And no matter how hard you try, he will still win. Thank you. I like the MPP man because he's humble and that he should come and join the NDC rather than the violent MPP party. Good morning Good to see Mujib on your set. As for Rashid Pepo, this is the end of the road for him. Well done, Senior Mujib. Honorable Adams sent in this one. Good morning to KOD. We the Ghetto Youth won't vote. Again. Oh, Ghetto Youth, please vote. Please vote. I vehemently want a debate between JM and Nana. Come on, JM, please continue throwing in the debate challenge until it comes on. Seraphine Ayuvi from Akachi. Please, what is the MPP man saying? He went into farming before going to school. Didn't they have free education in the north? Filizianama Angtaweni Suglo from Wa. Good morning to you, Pan-African TV. What is happening in Nigeria is not far from Ghana. If MPs can shoot guns during registration processes. Please, good morning. Please send me 10 Ghana cedis, please. And after I will pray for God to bless you people. Okay. People are saying you are very arrogant. I don't know why. From Amir Francis, Memphis Central, good morning to all of you. Who will vote for John Mahama and Peter Kwachi? Okay. Alhaji Doctor has said it all. People must be appreciated. What about the MPP who replaces wives and brothers? From Stanley Brantuo. Anyways, let me say a big thank you to you, Dr. Alhaji Abubakar Marzouk, who is a governance and political expert. Thank you very much.
Some people send a message from Z-Town.
Z-Town,
and they said they won't vote again. Let me encourage them.
Oh, yeah, they said they won't vote again.
Z-Town guys are very hardworking, very committed. They moved from MPP to my camp, and they are saying they'll vote for me and they will work hard for me. So I want to use this platform to salute them.
All right.
And salute all the members of WA Central.
Okay.
And encourage both NDC and MPP.
Okay.
Elect your MP who can serve you all.
Thank you.
I'm not going to serve only MPP,
All
only
right.
NDC. I'll serve both of you.
Rash Purple, Kayuko, may Allah bless you, inshallah. And this is coming again. This one is from Ahmed in Suhum constituency. It's unfortunate partisan politics has entered into the EC, the security agencies and the judiciary, including the local government, such as the chiefs and kingmakers. All these areas are to remain neutral and not to play politics for the purposes of peace, safety for our innocent citizens. Thank you, Mujib Kele, for your time this morning. Thank you. My time is actually up. And thank you very much.
He's a humble man. They shouldn't say he's.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rashid Pepe, for your time this morning. Let me leave you with this quote in solidarizing with the people of Nigeria. And this was a quote that was issued by the first president and the founder of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, in 1963. It says, the forces that unite us are intrinsic and greater than the superimposed influences that keep us apart. Africa must unite. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.